Going to focus mainly on utility functions. Okay, here thing is basically every man has different preferences, either maybe in terms of just consuming the goods, or whether it is impacting in the right way, or it might be impacting him in a bad way. When we consider those terms of his psychological behavior, uh, we can mathematically form a model or the function that is called u depend on his consumption of goods, and what level of utility or the satisfaction he gets is called utility. Okay, and in this utility people might have, we can interpret different level of behavior in terms of his preference of goods. Okay, suppose his utility or the person's utility is terms of x and x plus y. I'm just taking a simple equation to explain about the utility he sometimes, or in any case he gets from consuming good x and good y. Good y is also good. Obviously he must have, like, suppose m amount of income to consume those goods, and every good cost, let's suppose price of x of the good x good and price y for y good. How much he can consume? He can consume quantity x px plus quantity y py, which should not be greater than his income. This is his budget constraint. Okay, and we got this budget constraint, and we got how much he can consume units of x and unit of y, and it will be total amount. But the thing is, he can consume goods by within a given income, but we need to know whether he gets maximum satisfaction from consuming that amount of good. And here the question is, what is those bundle of goods containing x and y that gives him maximum utility, or u max? How do you find out that u max? You find out that u max by doing these steps. First, you should understand that whatever the utility gets from x adds up to what the utility gets from y will gives him utility. And here what is the main factor for consumption of x and consumption of y? Suppose he consumes good y instead of x. In this case it will be consumption of this one will be 0, then it will be y into py, which is less than or equals to m. And for maximum consumption you should not use less than, because he should consume at most amount of the income. Okay, here y equals to m by py. And one thing is, whenever he is consuming x plus y, you got m by py equals to y. Okay, and in next step we are going to find out x when y is 0. When this is 0, x is equals to m by px. And the irony is, we got these two different equations by this budget constraint. By reducing one for completely nothing and another will be consumed at its best. Okay, here I wanted to know, how does the consumption of y depends on? and how does the consumption of x depends. Okay, because whether you consume x or y, it will add up. And how you will get y or x? You will get the value of y when m is same, and py, suppose py is 2, and here py px is 1, it will be m, and now this will be m by 2. When we add these things, because x plus y is his utility, that's why you are adding x plus y. Here x is m and y is m by 2, which will give 3 by 2 m. And why we are taking m by 2 when we can get m amount of utility by just consuming x? There is no necessity or there is no obligation to consume good y, right? And obviously if you consume x, you will get, it's sorry, I just made a mistake here. It's not like 3 by 2. We are not consuming the whole x plus y, and I'm just telling you that suppose if you consume full of y, you will get m by 2. Suppose you will consume full of x, you will get m, means at most you will get m. When you have the option to consume with at most utility, that will be m. Why are you worrying about consuming in between m by 2 and m? It's not efficient, right? It's not maximized. There is no thing called getting the perfect utility from this one or the maximum utility. So that's why we can say that in consumption of these goods containing utility function x plus y, we are consuming the good which has price less compared to price y. This one is prepared. Whichever, when let's say px by py ratio is greater than 1, it means px value is more and px value might be 1, right? And in this case, it's better to consume py, right? Because px value is more, than the amount of excess you get is less, and at the end you will get the less x in this utility function. Okay, that's why we are just focusing or we are just need to stress on prices whenever you solve the utility functions of substitute goods. Okay, thank you. We'll see complementary goods in the next section.